Hi, my name is Chuck Castillon. I'm from the Lake Forest Sword Academy. I have Tod Cutler's 14th century Type 15 sword here today that I'm going to do a cut review. What is a cut review? That simply means that what we're going to do is we're going to actually cut with this sword and see if it does what it's intended to do. It's a tool. So, it's a beautiful tool, but we're going to see if it actually works. On this test, we're going to cut a pool noodle. Because of its lightweight nature, it's very unforgiving on an edge that is not expertly sharp. Now remember, when I got this, I bought it sharp, and it does say that it needs to be a final honing. It managed to cut in, and it does look a little rough, but as you saw, the force ends up just simply tearing the pool noodle. But with the proper resistance, the blade is sharp. And now for the milk jug test. Milk jugs are used uniquely because they're filled with water, which give us resistance, and the thin skin of it allows us to cut through. But again, the performance of the blade will make a difference if the blade orientation is not correct, meaning if I mess up, it will have difficulty going through. But if it's too dull, you'll see an impact on it rather than a nice clean cut. All right, now we're going to try thrusting. So hopefully this will perform better than it did in the cut. It probably just simply needs a good honing. Let's do one final cut. There's very little water in here, so it's going to be very difficult for it to cut through, but we'll give it a shot. As you can see, the cut came through, but the amount of force that comes through, the blade is not sharp enough to continue cutting through with the less resistance that we have with the little water that was left. A little bit better that time. The cut went all the way through to about here, but we had more resistance in the water and we had a little bit of a sharper edge on it. But all in all, not a bad purchase. If you spend a little time on the blade, I'm sure it would be an excellent cutter. These are just tentative, out of the box attempts for this review, to be honest. More than likely, I'm going to go spend a little time in the garage with this thing and it'll slice through like a razor. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's a pretty straight cut. As you can see, it went through, and even on the thicker part where the handle, it continued. There's a little scalping in there, but that's all me. That's not the weapon itself. But as you can see, that cut is almost at the exact angle that I had intended it to be at. Okay? That honing really makes a difference. As you can see, with true blade orientation and a sharp edge, it's very easy to cut through an object like this. Remember, as I'm cutting through, it's losing mass. So the resistance is less and less each time I'm coming through this. So as the resistance becomes less, that blade edge has to be sharper. So out of the box, as you saw, it could use some help. But just a few quick passes over the sharpener, honing in that edge, you've got a beautiful tool that does the job that you got it for. Thanks, Todd. Now that we've seen what the sword can do, let's see the package that it comes in. This scabbard is a solid wood core with leather wrapped, simple stitching on the back, but what I found truly impressive was all the furnishings. The buckles, the attachments, all very first-rate quality, and the leather is of suitable quality that can be worn easily. Looks good. Very nice on the wrapping, suitable for any cut enthusiast, HEMA practitioner, or even a Ren Fair participant. Just make sure you piece tie it if you go to the Ren Fair. They're not real happy about that if you've got an actual sword. Again, for its cost, an excellent choice. It is a production sword. This is not an artisan sword. So these are made in mass production. So therefore, they're relatively accessible. Even if they're sold out, make sure that you hit your little notice so that when they become available, you can get one of these wonderful swords.